Hey, Shalom. All praise unto Yahweh Shimei Shai. Okay, double honors to the apostles of GMS. Okay, honors you brothers will be pushing the truth and sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth. It's gonna be a quick video regarding well, the title says it all, man. Okay, and you know, I use this site a lot, so you know, because it brings out good articles. Okay, good things as pertaining to the scriptures. Okay, so this is dealing with one particular prophecy which is yet to be passed out in the book of Revelations, where he talks about how this man Esau, okay, Esau's in power right now, is pursuant to the book of Job 9th chapter on the 24th verse. Okay, so he's in power right now. The Most High is going to have it to where he's going to try get the birthright, which is spoken about within the book of Genesis, the 25th chapter, as pertaining to Jacob and Esau, and how that Jacob supplanted Esau for the birthright. But the Most High had already intended that for that to be the case, because we know that's what he said unto Rebekah. Okay, so and Esau trying to obtain the birthright, Genesis the 27th chapter. Okay, and how Esau was going to be a subject unto Jacob. All right, Esau's trying to obtain that birthright, the ownership of the whole earth. As you know, the scripture says in the book of Second Ezra, Second Ezra 6, maybe the 6th chapter, no, the 7th chapter, around about the 58th verse. The 7th or the 6th chapter, I forget off the top of my head. How that if the world be made for our sakes, why do we not possess an inheritance thereof? So the world was made for the sake of the Israelites. Going to show you right there and then, man. Although that Esau was born first, ultimately that birthright was going to go right down to Jacob, because that was the controversy. That was going to set the scene for what the Most High had intended, which means to say we was always going to go into slavery. And when you read the pretexts, when you read and understand Deuteronomy, when you understand that there was prophecies within Deuteronomy, okay? And when you go into Deuteronomy, it doesn't say if you go off, you was going to go into captivity by way of slave ships. It says when. Okay, a lot of people overlook those little nitty gritty things as pertaining to the scriptures, man. Okay, they just ride over that. It says when you go off, right? Because Moses perceived that this was the most, because hey, the scripture talks about how Moses was getting all kind of abundant revelations from the Most High. Okay, to the end that he wasn't supposed to tell certain things to certain individuals. I believe the same case was for Ezra. Okay, but that's a different story for a different day. And so he was getting all of these revelations, okay, getting all these different informations being manifested to him, okay. But some things he was going to put down in stone, okay, and some of those things he wasn't going to do. He was going to keep that to himself, okay. And I'm led to believe within the spirit that ultimately he understood by way the book of Deuteronomy is written and so on and so forth, that he understood that it wasn't a case of us if we was going to go off on the law, statutes, commandments of the Most High, but when we was going to go off, this was what's going to happen. Okay, so it was all prophetic as pertaining to the Negroes, Hispanics, Native Americans, the situation that we're going to be in right now. But ultimately, when you go into the other parts of the scriptures, the good sides, the blessing, also says when you was going to do right with the Most High. And when we're going to do right with the Most High, when we have the law, statutes, commandments imprinted within our heart as pertaining to the book of Hebrews, the 8th chapter and the 8th verse. Okay, and that's the Israelites. Negroes, Hispanics, Native Americans, okay, the Israelites dispersed throughout the four corners of the earth as pursuant to the book of Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter on the 64th verse, okay, and how we was gonna be scattered. All right, so you might have it to where Israelites gonna look like the Moabites, which is the Chinese, okay. The Israelite might look like the Japanese right there, which is Ammon, or Ishmael, okay, them Somalis and so on and so forth, okay. And you was always gonna be able to tell by way of the curses, by way of the flavor that they carried themselves with, okay. And you was always going to be able to tell by one key factor, okay? I bear them record, as the scripture says, I bear them record that Israel has a zeal for the Most High. So they try to get into the scriptures. They always get drawn back onto the scriptures because it's within our spirit, okay? They have a zeal for the Most High, but not according to knowledge. So they might go out there into the churches as opposed to looking for the elders out there pushing the truth as it says within the scriptures, how the teachers weren't going to be removed into a corner anymore, but you was going to see them. And where was you going to see them? You're going to see them out there on the streets, getting down, man. Okay, kicking this work, man. Okay, cursing Esau out, cursing you hard-headed Negroes, Hispanics, Native Americans out, because that's what the scripture says. Okay, and if a guy came to you talking smooth things, well, the scripture also tells you that wasn't going to be a man of the Lord, because when that word comes to pass, you was going to see it. So you had it to where the elders were talking about the cashless society. Okay, well now you got it right here in front of your face, and now we're going to get into it. So it says the globalists strike back with a major push towards a cashless society. Okay, their agenda may be on the rocks. Furthermore, let me read that properly. It says their agenda may be on the rocks in the United States at the moment, but that doesn't mean that the globalists are giving up. Which ultimately, that's a BS statement, because the elite banking family's plans is intricate, man. Okay, the book of Psalms, the 64th chapter, tells you how they have taken crafty counsel. You talk about a craft. If a dude is a musician, okay, he plays the guitar, bam, wham, okay, bad at the guitar, okay, you're gonna call that a crafty player of the guitar because of the way he uses his ingenuity, the way he plays that instrument is ingenious. Okay, well, that's the same thing that applies with these elite banking families as pertaining to the wickedness. Okay, they're likened unto George Benson on that guitar because they get all kind of crafty on it. Okay, they get crafty with their wickedness, man, because the scripture also says that wickedness be sweet in their mouths. Okay, the scripture says wickedness is sweet within the mouth. They don't foresee that wickedness just come out. That's his nature, and that's what he's good at. Okay. All right, so that's a redundant statement right there. These elite banking families know what they have been. They know what they're out here to do, man. Okay, they're trying to obtain the birthright as pursuant to the book of Genesis, the 27th chapter. Okay, but they're trying to obtain it by the blessing that they got, which was the sword. Okay, ICBM nuclear missile, the gun. Okay, the AK-47. Okay, all of them instruments. That's Esau's true blessing. Okay, but he's trying to obtain the blessing that Jacob's got, which is dominant. Okay. Right, dominance over the whole world, to be kings, rulers, priests unto the Most High. He's trying to obtain that. Okay, and really the birthright goes back onto Abraham, Isaac, and it was going to go through whoever Isaac blessed with that blessing, and he blessed Jacob with it. So we say Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Okay, it says, in fact, a major push towards cashless society is being made in Europe, in the European Union right now. Okay. It says last May we learned that the 500 euro is being completely eliminated, and just a few weeks ago the European Commission released a new action plan in which, which instructs member states to explore potential upper limits of cash payments. In other words, or to put it into layman's terms, upper limits of cash, your $500 euro note, okay, that bill note, they're trying to get rid of it, or rather more, they've actually got rid of that. Okay, all right, and that's more to acclimatize people to use less cash. Okay, to be more acclimatized to using what you know as the credit card. Okay, because when that chip comes in, it's gonna be based off the same system. Okay, of the same principles. Okay, that's why the card now is going to what? To contactless payment. Okay, so it says in the name of fighting terrorism, and that's a major point right there. Okay, in terms of fighting terrorism, now what do they class as a terrorist? The Islamic people out there, okay, and them immigrants out there, they're likened unto terrorists right there. That's why there's such a major push by Donald Trump right now to get rid of them. What they term as what's the word I'm looking for right here? As immigrants, okay? Why? Because they see them as a potential terror threat, okay? So when you have it to where they have a chip on them, all right, or a system to where you can track their every movement, okay, and even Donald Trump said he was gonna have it to where the chip was gonna be instituted out there onto them immigrants as a measure to watch what they're doing and to track their movements, okay. So that's a very important statement right there when they say in the name of fighting terrorism. It says this action plan discusses the benefits, okay, of prohibition of cash, all right, above a specific threshold, and it says that those prohibitions should include virtual currencies, all right, Bitcoin, okay, and when the Bitcoin came out, we told you about this, and prepaid instruments such as a prepaid credit card, all right, when used anonymously, okay, all right. So we're gonna, that's pretty much the gist of it. I don't really have to read anymore, so I'm just gonna nitpick certain statements here. So it says this document does not mention that appropriate threshold would be for member states, okay, but we do know that that Spain already bans cash transaction above 2,500 euros. So if you're doing a transaction out there in Spain, right, and it's 3,000 pounds, or rather more 3,000 euros, okay, you're gonna use your card, okay, you're gonna go cashless, okay. It says Italy, France already banned cash transaction above 1,000 euros. All right. Now, for everyone other than the Negro, Hispanic, or Native American, 1,000 euros is actually nothing. That's like, look, that's you know, that's the money that Esau spends just eating up. Okay, so that's nothing. So they're saying 1,000 euros is the threshold out there in Italy and France. Okay, these are major cities. Okay, not so much Italy, but you know, France is. I mean, so I suppose both of them is major tourist attractions and so on and so forth. Okay, it says this is the perfect way to transition to a cashless society without creating too much of an uproar. Okay, by setting a maximum legal level for transactions, for cash transactions, slowly lowering it, in effect you slowly but surely phase out cash, right, without people understanding why it's happening. Why is it happening? As pursuant to the scriptures, how the Most High was going to have it to where this chip was going to be implemented, okay, by way of Esau. It says, I'm going to read this last paragraph right here. All right, it says, and there are many places in Europe where it is very difficult, right, even to use cash. Let me read that again properly. It says, and there are many places in Europe where it's very difficult to even use cash at this point. In Sweden, many banks no longer take or give cash, and approximately 95% of all retail transactions are entirely cashless. Okay, so even though Sweden has not officially banned cash, using cash is no longer practical in most situations. Okay, in fact, many tourists are shocked to find out that they cannot even pay the bus fare, right, with cash, and they're doing the same thing in England. I believe in England you can't even pay, you can't go on a bus. Okay, really in London, my apologies, because I'm in England. I do pay cash but I don't live in London. Okay, I live somewhere else. But pretty much you can see. I mean, I travel down to London, and certainly I know that you know, most bus services don't have it to where you use cash to get on the bus fare. So that's slowly coming in. So you know, hopefully that was of edification. Okay, now you're seeing, you know, the instruments of craftiness being manifested. Okay, and you know, hey, to Esau, hey, do your thing, man, because the Most High is gonna have it to where you're gonna destroy yourself, man. Okay, so what I'm gonna say, all praises unto Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. Double honors to the apostles of GMS. Honestly, brothers, that be pushing this truth in sincerity. Shalom.